This is a car.
Now, pay attention, please. Windscreen bulletproof, as are the side and the rear windows.
Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
I can give it to you with a heck of a sealant.
Get you, John Hancock. You're on your way.
Yeah.
Where are the keys?
Consider the car. Cruise, commute, sit in traffic, take a road trip, make out in the back seat, break down, get pulled over, push the pedal to the metal, race, chase, and crash. The car has a ubiquitous place in cinema, but why is cinema obsessed with the automobile? One of the most fetishized objects in film, the car is represented more often and more diversely than any other form of transportation. But to call the car transportation is to misunderstand its role in film entirely. The car movie and the large car chase action set pieces are probably what leap immediately to mind when thinking about cars in movies, and you could make whole video essays about those things alone. But the space the car has carved out for itself in the movies is much larger than that.
Beautiful car.
Yeah, is this your car?
As your attorney, I advise you to rent a very fast car with no top.
A car is a costume. A character's car can tell you a lot about them before they even speak. In Nightcrawler, Lou's car is the main way we're shown that he's gaining success. In Boyhood, the car the father drives tips us off to the fact that he's the fun, irresponsible dad. And when he trades it in later in the film, it's an indication of personal change.
So this is like Annie's car, and you drive the GTO? I just usually put a baby seat in that thing.
Yeah, nah. But I had to sell that anyway.
A car can be an extension of a character. In the Darjeeling Limited, the brothers' attempts to retrieve their father's broken down car,
And we're gonna take this car to his funeral, which we're late for right now.
illustrates their dysfunction in the midst of their grief.
You get back in your car right now. Get back in that car!
Say, dude, where is your car?
In The Big Lebowski, the destruction of the dude's car parallels the out-of-control spiral of the story. In Taxi Driver, Travis Bickle's taxi is a high horse for him to sit upon. It is what separates him from what he calls the scum of the streets.
Come on!
The car is a location. The interior is a dramatic stage.
You okay?
The characters all face the audience, and the scenes that unfold inside a car are as varied as the humans that occupy them.
Jimmy. What's up? Did I hit something?
Take the job. Just take it. No questions. Take it.
Terry, take this job, please.
But they was witnesses seen us redeemed.
That's not the issue, Delmer. Even if it did put you square with the Lord, the state of Mississippi's a little more hard-nosed.
When I go back Baltimore, need no carpet on my floor. Come along and follow me. We'll go down to Galilee.
I got bodyguards, I got 2 big cars, that definitely ain't the way.
This forced intimacy is instant fodder for what cinema loves to examine. But equally interesting to the prying eyes of the film camera are the inescapable silences.
Our vibrations were getting nasty. But why? Was there no communication in this car?
And the arguments.
Can't even pass your driver's test.
Because you wouldn't let me practice
The way
enough.
that you work, or the way that you don't work, you're not even worth state tuition, Christine.
Cars trap us in a box with other people who can't leave, at least without hurting themselves.
And not expect everybody to do everything.
Make time, consigliere. Get in the car. What are you worried about? If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead already.
You better come with us, maybe. Take a ride with the Pharaoh, huh?
No, listen, I'd really like to, but I've got to...
There's the tension of being forced into the back seat with a few unsavory characters, or the joy of being crammed in together with some buddies. A car can separate a character from their surroundings. It's a portable space that we own. It's a representation of our individualism, of our personal freedom. In the car, you get to go where you want to go. Your hands are on the wheel. You feel you control your destiny, and you get to put your music on.
Flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all.
That space provides a perhaps false sense of privacy and shelter from the outside world. Criminals feel free to talk business.
Myself and Mr. Pink.
You two take the manager in the back and make him give you the diamonds. We're there for those stones, period.
You might try to hide in one from outside danger, but that space can be invaded, revealing how fragile a shell of protection it really is. And the freedom the car gives us can leave us vulnerable. The car as a location includes more than just the interior. The archipelago of cars in a parking lot are personal islands for people to gather around for conversation. Leaning at someone's car window puts you on the line between stranger and friend, waiting to be welcomed in, or evaluating whether you'd even want to enter. A character might remove someone from their car as an attempt to remove that person from their life.
Get out of my car! Get out!
Or drive away to achieve the same effect.
Driving is a serious business.
The car can symbolize youth grasping for maturity and trying to enter adulthood. In Rushmore, Max's constant invasion of the adults' cars is an image of his attempts to be a part of their world. In Ladybird's need for others to drive her around is an image of her dependence and then eventual gaining of independence.
What happened? A car accident.
Oh, jeez.
The car is violent. The trauma of an accident has been used endlessly as a dramatic tool. A visual shorthand, it's a favorite of the flashback. Vandalizing a car isn't an attack on the object. It's an attack on the person who drives that car. And the car itself can become a way to act out. In The Godfather, there's a motif of violence in association with cars, perhaps representing how changing times are presenting challenges for the mafia. Maybe the car harnesses some more primal instinct for the thrill of the chase. It's a mundane and commonplace part of our lives that can suddenly become a vehicle of thrill, a weapon, a gadget, or a detective's tool for investigation.
Get in!
Enticing to the camera is the movement of the car, the endless motion of the landscapes found outside the windows. There can be a dramatic inevitability to this movement, a feeling of something that can't be undone. Locke, a movie set entirely in a car during a single trip, uses the finality of each mile driven to build tension.
Okay, listen, I won't be back for that.
What?
Something's come up. I can't get out of it.
But that movement can also come to a screeching halt, leaving people stuck, unable to get where they want to go, creating some of the conflict and obstacles that every character needs.
3 lanes left, 7 o'clock, Green Civic.
Bring your window down.
The obsession runs deep. Even in our fantasies, we cling to the image of the car. We use it to traverse through time, and even when society has been utterly destroyed, the car remains. We consistently humanize the car and imbue upon it a personality and self, making it one of the few pieces of technology we seem to consistently anthropomorphize in our media.
I have learned more about America from riding in taxi cabs than in all the limos in the country.
Can I trade my car in and take another?
Come on, Dad, need your car.
Scenes in cars have been shot in a variety of ways throughout film history, but there emerges what I see as two primary approaches. In the first, and the most common, the camera assumes an omniscient presence around the vehicle, impossibly floating in and around the car to provide the best compositions. The second approach, rising to prominence through the directors of the French New Wave, who felt it was unnatural to place a camera on the outside looking in through the windshield, is to put the camera in the car, making the viewer just another passenger.
I'm taking you back to the rendezvous. Joe's gonna get you a doctor. Doctor's gonna fix you up.
Filmmakers have gone to great lengths to film the car. It presents a challenge, but one that filmmakers are obviously willing to overcome. I think the diversity of things that a car can be or represent makes it a perfect tool for filmmakers. Certainly, Hollywood's location in a city where cars are a necessity has impacted the presence of cars in the movies. LA writers write cars into films because cars are a part of their lives. Had the world's empire of film been located in a city with good public transportation, maybe things would have been different. Cinema is the technological sibling of the car. Born of the same era, neither knows of a time without the other. I have to wonder how cinema will be affected by the way the car changes. Will the arrival of self-driving cars be like the cell phone? An obstacle that writers have to learn how to write for? Something that challenges the conventions of how transportation is displayed? Whether or not it continues to be, the car has been a vital piece of cinematic storytelling. In the movies, a car is never just a car. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. I couldn't do this without them. This channel is supported by viewers like you, so if you want to support my content, please consider becoming a patron. If you're a YouTuber or a filmmaker and you like the music in this video, check out Artlist. I license all my music through them, and if you use the link in the description, you'll get an extra 2 months for free when you sign up.